the last episode, we'll show you how a pine cone closes in water. Now we want to show you how to make a DIY artificial pine cone. To remind you, the pine cone has a composite structure, so when it absorbs water, the top part of the pine cone scale expands more than the bottom, which then bends the scales down. So in order to make an artificial pine cone, we will need to first make a composite structure to do that. Now you can go to the supermarket and try to buy the following things. First, aluminum foil. Second, glue. Make sure this glue doesn't dissolve in water. And the last thing is to buy some ice popsicles. Here is the procedure to make the composite. First, eat the ice and don't get a brain freeze. And remember to keep the wooden stick. Second, wash the stick and cut into a small piece. Third, you can now glue the stick onto aluminum foil. Fourth, wait for it to dry. And that's it. We can now test this in water to see whether it works or not. In principle, the wood will absorb water and expand, whereas the aluminum foil will not, so the structure will bend. We see here a video of the structure in water. This is an overlaid video, so we see the initial position here, and when I run it at 80 times the speed, you will see how it changes. And the composite bends. So knowing that the composite works, then let's try to make an artificial pine cone that looks something like this. This is a zoom-in version, and we see that the wood is stick together with aluminum foil at the bottom. And let's try to see how it works when we put it in water. And this is a success that we are able to make an artificial pine cone. At the beginning, the branches are spread out like this. And if we soak it in water for about 30 minutes, the branches actually curl inward. However, if you think about this, unfortunately, the changes is actually very small compared to a real pine cone. Can we do better? In order for the structures to bend more, we need a top layer materials that expands more in water. So we go through our house to find the necessary item, and I'd like to show you the version 2 of the artificial pine cone. We have replaced the foil by copper foil so that we can see it easier, but you can still use aluminum foil for that. Here's a video of what it looks like when you put it in water. This is the initial position, and if we run at 32 times the speed in water, this is what happens. It will start bending, and bending, and bending, and bending. So what is this special materials in here? It is actually hydrogel. We can find hydrogel easily in indoor plants like this one. These are the beads actually in the pot. And when you put it in water, it expands a lot. So what we do in here is basically we arrange these beads on top of the copper foil, such as this. So when we put it in water, it expands a lot and therefore bends the structure down. Now you can try this at home. Even though we are able to mimic the pine cone, it is actually still not as good as the real thing. We can see that nature is in fact very smart and amazing, and we should be learning much more from observing the nature. Thank you very much for listening and hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.